Hey Aquarius, I hope that you're all doing well. The first card that we have out is Six of Cups. Okay, Six of Cups, we have the Lovers, we have Ace of Swords. Okay. I'm also seeing Six of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. There can be stuff about relationships in general that is coming to light. I also feel too, like, in thinking back to a certain relationship that you have had, some of you, something that you're still within, there can be some things that are really starting to make sense to you. I feel like the past is helpful to you. I feel like past experiences that you've had, specifically like relationship experiences, I'm seeing that you're finding clarity now. And I feel like taking things from your history or stuff about your memories or your past experiences, that being helpful is kind of like all of those different puzzle pieces are now coming together and you're seeing the big picture here in a way that maybe you didn't until this point, maybe not clearly in the way that you do now. So you can be in a place where you've come to a new understanding. What does this mean though with the Ten of Swords? Seeing Ten of Swords, I'm seeing Nine of Swords. So Ten of Swords is showing that something has happened. Nine of Swords can be like, well, what happens now? I see that something has fully come into play here. And also too that the situation has concluded, but what does that mean going forward from this point? So it can be like something that you've been working through, something that you've been moving through, something that's been being figured out. You've now gotten to that point where there is some feeling of resolution here within that. And so what that means is that you're no longer going to be like working on that anymore. So what are you going to be working on now? Where are things going to go now? Where is the direction going to take you now? Like if I'm not tending to this anymore, if I'm not working through this anymore, if this has been concluded, what does that mean for me? What does that mean for me and where I'm going now? So it can be something that's like heavily on your mind here because you're like, well, what happens next? What happens after this part here? Ooh, I'm seeing, what is this reminding me of? One of the swords in the Nine of Swords, it's reminding me of, in the movie Hercules, in the cartoon, this is interesting. There's something so specifically, it reminds me of the scissors that the fates try to cut the line with. I think it's like the lifeline or something like that. I haven't seen this movie in a very long time, but I remember the scissors going to cut it and then it doesn't end up cutting. Just one of these swords here is reminding me of that, of that scene. Like maybe there's something specifically in that scene that's important, but I remember like it trying to cut something and then it's not cutting. And I'm seeing a bright color yellow here. And just as I say that, the sun is coming out, so. I mean, I don't see you staying in a spot where you don't really know what's going to happen, but maybe knowing what's going to happen next is the thing that has you feeling the way that you feel. Maybe it's not that you don't know, maybe it's that you do know, and then you're like, well, I get where things are going, but I'm having feelings about that, and maybe it feels kind of overwhelming to think about. So in a way, I don't feel like this is an anxiety that comes from the unknown, I feel like it's kind of some anxiety or some overwhelm that comes from you knowing what's next, but having feelings sort of surrounding that, actually. Like you having awareness now, and then you're like, well, that something's going to be happening now. Like now that I have that awareness, now that I can see that, what is that going to mean? It's funny because with the sun, I feel like you're going to be stepping into something that makes so much sense for you to be in that place. But right now, from where you are, it can feel a little bit strange to imagine. So that can also be something that's coming up too. I get the sense of there being some immense context that you have for the past now in a way that you did not. And like specifically surrounding a relationship. What was going on? Feelings surfacing. Page of Cups, Nine of Cups. This is when your intuition taps the mic and speaks very clearly into it, where you know what your heart wants here in this moment. So Page of Cups is communicating with you here right now. It means that you're tapped in. It means that you're connected. It means that things are becoming very clear, especially what's going on with what you're feeling. This can be a time too where you feel like you're understanding yourself on an emotional level as well, where you're like, oh, finally I can really understand what these feelings have been meaning this whole time. Like, I get it. And this can be like, I'm recognizing the type of relationship I want. I'm recognizing the type of partnerships that I want. I'm recognizing the type of person that I want to be with or want to collaborate with, or like certain relationships that I want to be having. I feel like all of this stuff is really coming into focus and starting to make sense for you. Like in a way that I feel like maybe there wasn't a full understanding of this before. You know, like when you're going through phases, and it's like in growing up, you have to go through these phases of experimenting and understanding and trying things on and taking them off and seeing what you like, seeing what you don't like. I feel like some things have become very apparent to you that indicate to you like the types of relationships that you want. For some of you, it can be a specific type of relationship. Maybe you figured out what types of friendships you want. Maybe you figured out what types of like collaborative partnerships you want. Maybe you figured out what type of like work environment you want. Maybe what you hadn't figured out before was like the type of romantic relationship you wanted, what you were looking for in a partner. Maybe that's now something that's become clear. I feel like whatever this is, it does feel like now you know. And I feel too like there's an understanding, there's this context of like what you were feeling in the past and that informing you of things presently as well. With the Ten of Swords and Nine of Swords, it can be too knowing what needs to be concluded because you're now aware of things as well. It's like if you're riding on a blue bike and you have come to the realization that you actually want to be riding on a purple bike, that then you make the appropriate moves that would need to happen in order for you to honor this realization that you've had. Like the purple bike is your preference. How do you get off of that blue one and get onto the purple one? So it can be this time here that you're going through where it feels like the implications now, what you know, can be like informing action that you're going to be taking. Because I'm seeing your intuition be loud and clear now. There's no more needing to discern what that means. You understand. But being at that point too, there can feel like some pressure here because you can't close your eyes anymore. You're totally aware. So to be totally aware means that it will be a choice if you honor this or not. And you can feel like you can't really rest easily unless you honor this now. So I feel like stuff about yourself you've like become very clear about when it comes to this particularly. And I'm seeing too your experiences adding up now and really holding a whole new meaning for you at this point. Some of you, you're going to end something that's been going on for a while, or something that's been sort of deeply ingrained within your routine emotionally. But you can feel like you have to honor yourself here. Meaning, for some of you, I'm seeing that as something that you may be doing for a while with the Six of Cups, which can feel like ingrained within your memory core in some way. You can be looking at that and saying, like, that's the past. It's not my present. It's not my future. It can feel difficult to let go of this. I feel like this is something where you're recognizing what things were, recognizing what things are, recognizing there can be a difference between the two, and then what needs to happen now. And it can be something that you're very like clear intuitively. So some of you can be in the process of this, some of you can be in the after process of this. If things have closed out, you can feel like, well, now I'm really clear intuitively and emotionally in a way that I wasn't before, and things are really making sense to me. And you can feel like the place that you're in emotionally is one where there's no more looking into things. You've understood what you needed to understand here about what you've been feeling. Like, you don't need to add it up anymore. You've already gotten to the conclusion. And that can feel very liberating. Simultaneously, it can be like, well, since you've gotten to the conclusion now, what are the implications of that? If you've like exited the situation or like closed out what needed to be closed out, you can be in the aftermath of like recognizing where you want to go now. I feel like that's less maybe, what's the feeling? I feel like that can be one side of things. Another side is that for some of you, you can still be in a situation that's not really currently relevant for you anymore. You can be aware of that. Then you need to do what you need to do, take action in the way that you need to take action. And that can be something that you're feeling like, it's just that feeling of knowing that something has become clear and obvious and like you know what to do, but you just may not want to, just because of like that being uncomfortable, it being a change, it being a shift. Some of you, you've already done this and you're in the aftermath of it and things are coming to light and falling into place very beautifully. For others of you, you're still in this process where the conclusion may not have fully happened yet, and you can feel anxiety about that because you kind of know what's coming here. So it can be a time where you've understood what you needed to understand. Action hasn't fully been taken yet for some of you. This may come as a shock. This may come as a surprise. I'm seeing the Tower here. This can feel like a very emotionally chaotic time. I'm seeing the Lovers and I'm seeing the Tower. So yeah, some of you guys can be going through a break. Some of you guys can be going through a split. Some of you, the relationship can be ending. But I'm seeing it all be centered and focused around relationships. I get it too, like, if you are very clear on what you want now, which I'm seeing you are, that means the only thing left to do is to do something about that. But for some of you, there's going to be, things are going to flip upside down. It can be a time when this realization comes and intercepts what's been going on. And you can be seeing what's been keeping you connected this whole time. I'm seeing the Devil. Who do we have here? Looking at Gemini. I'm looking at Capricorn. I'm looking at Leo. We also have the Sun and we have Mars here. I'm looking at some water energies as well. I'm seeing a Queen of Wands and a Queen of Cups. I get this sense of this being a bit of a battle as well within you. Page of Cups and Nine of Cups, Queen of Wands is when you're like, I'm trusting myself, I'm trusting what I'm feeling, I know what's in my heart, and I take action based off of that regardless of the circumstances. I honor myself, I honor my authenticity. And what's life without me doing that? I know that the flame within like my soul will expire if I do not honor this aspect of myself. Then you have this other side of yourself with Queen of Cups, Tower, and the Devil, which can be going through this severing of sorts, a severing from the devil. Like, this is the time when you can really see, I'm holding on from a place of attachment. I'm holding on from a place of codependency. I'm holding on from a place of fear, not from a place of love within my heart, not from a place of truth within my heart. And so the feeling can be, said amen to that. The feeling can be with this that you're recognizing something that has snuck up on you. You can be realizing, like, I've been staying in this situation not from a place where this is compatible with me, but from somewhere else. And that's why I've been feeling the way that I've been feeling. That's why this hasn't been feeling right. That's why I've been feeling like stuck. You can feel stuck in the past. You can feel stuck everywhere else except for presently. You can feel like you've been not totally present. And now in this moment of clarity that you're having, which really does feel like it's like a lightning bolt. Like, here it is, and you see it, and everything is crystal clear. And in that moment, you can really see how you've been playing things emotionally. You can realize where you've been holding on to things where you were not meant to. And I feel like it's the big reveal here, and you see this reflection of yourself that is a true reflection of yourself, and you can see that your motivation and your intention is something very different than you initially thought. That's why I've been holding on to it. That's why I've been feeling this way. That's what's been motivating me. And so to honor this realization or to not honor this realization, if you see what things have been all along, where things have come from, what attracted you to the situation and what kept you within it. If you're going to go in the direction of what you want, it feels like a tower is going to be happening, which means that it can be a time when there's a lot of shifting that's going on within your life, and it can feel destabilizing for a while, but all that's happening is that there's a rearrangement so things can be back in right order. So you can be seeing where they're not in right order. And I feel for many of you like this is about a specific relationship that you have. You see where things have not been in right order. It even feels like this, like you feeling fearful of what you want, or you feeling thrown off by what you want, or you feeling this like ominous feeling about what you want, not because you don't want what you know that you want, but because of what that means then for the situation that you're in. And I feel for some of you too that this is coming up in a way that you may not have expected. You can be recognizing really how you truly feel at the core of what you truly feel, and it can mean some like mayhem, it can mean some chaos for your life currently. And is this something that you are going to be brave about? Is this something that you are going to say, I'm not willing to negotiate on the quality of my life, the quality of my relationships, what I want to experience? Or it can be a time when you look at the tower and you look at the devil and you're like, I want to keep playing this game because this feels safe to me. But it can be that type of safety where it's like not... I feel like it can be the type of safety that honors you not having to honor how you feel, what you know to be true for you. Because it can be something where it's like, well, I built my identity around my relationship with this person, or I thought that I was going to be with them forever, or like I didn't plan for this to be happening within my life at this point in time. And so there can be a part of you that I feel like this brings up, it's like a volcano exploding emotionally for you. And there can be a part of you that's like, the part of me that's the Queen of Cups, I don't like this. This doesn't feel soothing. This doesn't feel comforting to me. This doesn't feel comfortable. This feels like I want to build connection, not break connection. And it feels like if you want to have that true experience that you're looking to experience within your relationships, this needs to be done now. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be done now, actually. You can put this off if you want to, but it's just going to delay you actually connecting with what you want to connect with. So it can be something where you continue to dismiss this, but I do feel like you're having a revelation in a way that you've never had before. And you do get to choose what you do with that. And I feel too like you see that you've been sticking around within something for reasons that may be different than what you thought they were. And that even you could have been like, I'm doing this from a place of love within my heart, and you look closer and you realize it's not that, it's something else. There can be a real fear about breaking out of this energy, breaking away from it. When you've been feeding into something, they're in the externalizing of this. It's like something that you've attached your battery pack to. So you know that if you disconnect from the devil, which Tower and the Devil gives you an opportunity for you to change this. Right now, you can shift. Right now, you can change this. Right now, you can take this understanding that you're having and act on it and do something about it. This is an initiation that you're going through right now, or that you have the choice to. When we break away from the devil, there will be this space that is felt. It's like withdrawing from something, but I'm seeing it be like an emotional withdrawal here. But from something that hasn't been feeding you love, something that's been feeding something else. So for some of you too, I'm seeing that nothing has been done about this yet. Like I'm getting that you're not figuring anything out now. You know what it is. So there's nothing to be figured out now. Nine of Swords looking at the Tower is knowing, like, if I really honor what I'm feeling, what I know to be true, if I initiate this, if I act on this, I am stepping towards a tower. So there is this, like, are you in a place where you're ready to face this? Are you willing to? Knowing if I honor myself here, if I'm walking a path of authenticity and honoring my soul here, I recognize I'm going to be stepping straight into a tower. Are you willing to? Or is this something where you're going to look at the tower and be like, no, not today? And in that moment right there, I feel like that's what sheds light on the devil, recognizing that, like, this is the epitome of what the devil is. You recognize what your truth is, and there's questioning whether I'm going to honor that or not. That is the devil. And so you're getting to experience this firsthand, what type of quandary you can find yourself within when this is something that we have been embodying, something that we've been connecting with, and how it can keep you stuck. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.